Is this working now, I hope? All right, hello. Hi, Kratika.
Hi, Stephanie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good, good. Welcome to class.
Thank you.
And Jorgen, hello.
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can now. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
All right. How are you, Jorgen?
I'm fine, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good. Great. All right. Carolina, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine.
Good, wonderful. And Ken, hello.
Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. All right. Welcome to speaking practice. Sorry, I was about a minute late, but it actually started this time. I did not have problems with Google Hangouts, or the Verbling app. So that's a good sign for us today. This is speaking practice, and this class is designed to be somewhat similar to a speaking exam, where basically you'll be given one topic, and you'll be asked to respond to a range of questions about that topic. So using a lot of different grammar, different vocabularies, depending on the topic. And it is a fluency-based class, so I won't spend time correcting unless there's a barrier to communication, if I don't understand something. Or, of course, if you have a question about anything. So do feel free to ask questions during this class, even though you will do most of the talking. And today's topic is one I'm excited for. It is books. So the topic is books. We'll be doing a whole bunch of questions about books. So get ready. Here we go. First question. Do you have an e-reader? And just for this first one, I will start. Your answer can be as long as or as short as you like. This is a yes or no question, so you can just say yes or you can just say no, but try to explain your answer, of course. So, do you have an e-reader? No, I don't have an e-reader, although I do have some apps on my phone, and I do read e-books regularly on my phone. All right. So that was my answer. Do I have a volunteer to go next?
Well, I can try.
All right, Jorgen, go ahead.
Yes. I do not have a standalone e-reader device, but I have an app on my tablet, so I have an e-reader reading opportunity, which I use a lot. I use an app called Kindle, which is a well-known app. I think it is Amazon that is promoting it. Previously, you need to have a special device, a special hardware to accommodate the Kindle software. But nowadays, you can use a normal and average tablet like an iPad, which I have. And I even believe that you can use a cell phone also with the Kindle app. Given that it is the Amazon who promotes the Kindle app, it gives you access to literally millions of books. And buying a book is very cheap. It costs about 1/3 or the half of a paperback or hardback copy. You download it right away, and you can choose to have it downloaded on your PC if you have a stationary PC also. That way you can have it both on your tablet and on your PC, which I sometimes do. Having the Kindle app software gives you a possibility for highlighting words in your book. You can also add notes. It is very easy to search for phrases and words in your books using the Kindle reading device. So all in all, yes, I do have an e-reader, but I do not have an e-reader device since it is not necessary these days as it was in the old days where you need a special Kindle device.
Yeah, that's a good point that anyone can read ebooks whether or not you have an e-reader nowadays. And you highlighted many of the very good qualities of ebooks, the things we can do with them. Great answer.
Thank you.
Let's move to the right. Kratika, how about you? Do you have an e-reader?
No, I do not have a e-reader, but I frequently read books online. When I Google, I can find many books over there. Also, I have certain books on my cell phone, so I get to the application on my cell phone and I download certain books over there. But of course, if I will have ebook or e-reader, it would be really good because it will save my time, and also I can get a quick access to many books with different authors, and will get a lot of information about it. So e-reader is a good option to go for.
Good, yeah, good points, well said. Excellent. A lot of convenient aspects to e-readers. Great. Marcus, how about you? Do you have an e-reader?
Hi. I have a reader for a facility and
All right, it looks like Marcus is just dropped out of the chat, so I don't know what happened there mid-sentence. Let's go around to Ken, and we'll get back to Marcus if he can come back.
Mm-hmm.
Ken, how about you? Do you have an e-reader?
I don't have any e-reader, but I'm reading less and less. So sometimes I let my computer to read article online. Like when I on the bed to try to sleep, I sometimes listen to such computer voice reading.
Wow, so
Like a radio.
that's kind of cool. So you pull up an article you want to hear or something you want to hear and just have the computer read.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really cool. I never would think to do that.
But the problem
Awesome.
is, the
Great,
computer.
good answer. Thank you. So that kind of is.
Hello?
Carolina, how about you? Do you have an e-reader?
No, in my case, I don't have any e-reader. I really like reading, but yes, when I have to read any
Carolina,
article, yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Can you start again? I didn't catch the first part there.
Yes, okay. Yes, of course. No, I don't have any e-reader.
So do you have?
No? Hello?
We can hear you, Stephanie. Are you there?
Oh, but you
I can hear you. But
Yes?
no, Stephanie.
Yeah, I
okay,
can't
okay.
hear you when you first start speaking. Try it one more time.
Okay, don't worry. I don't have any e-reader. Yeah, okay. I really like reading, but when I need to read any article or for my job or anything of this, I use the internet.
Yeah, we're having problems with your.
No, but I think the problem is Stephanie.
Rejoin the class, maybe that might help sometimes.
I think it's you, Stephanie, who are fading. It is difficult to hearing you.
You can't hear me? Uh-oh.
Yes, I can hear
Not
you
very
now,
clear,
but
yeah.
you're fading once in a while, so I think the problem might be at your end.
It probably is. I've been having problems all day with it. Okay. I apologize. Can everyone hear Carolina okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Well, I can hear now. Let me try again one more time. Let's see if this works. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, to be honest, I don't know if I like to have a e-reader because I like the traditional books, and when as a hobby I prefer to use traditional books. That's all.
Great, excellent. Okay, so nothing beats the real paper feel for you. Good, I could hear fine now, so maybe I moved a little. Maybe that helps. David, how about you? Do you have an e-reader?
No, Stephanie. Actually, I think that even in normal books, read is not something that I do very often. I usually look for the summarized internet in Google. um,
Faster, definitely faster that way.
yes, I am a little bit lazy about reading.
That's all right. That's all right. Could always do what Ken does and just have the computer read it to you. Pretty cool.
The problem of that, computer cannot, click automatically, so I have to copy and paste beforehand.
Nice, nice. I see. So you copy and paste it and then probably put it in a Word document or something like
Kind
that?
of directly from the website to that software.
Cool. That's really cool. Interesting. All right, great. And let's see, I think Ksenia has joined us. Hello, Ksenia.
Hello, Stephanie.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. Glad you're here. And the topic tonight, do you have an e-reader?
I read it's like iPad where we can read books in. Yes, I'm right.
Yep.
No, I don't have because I don't like anything but books because my eyes usually hurt when I read from some of these stuff like iPad or smartphone. I don't like.
Yeah, it can be draining for the eyes to stare at a screen. Definitely.
Yes.
Good. All right. Nice work, everyone. So the topic is books. Let's go to the next question. Very different. This is a broad topic. So how do you decide what books to read? Do you have a method to choose what to read? How do you decide? Let's see. Jorgen started us last time. Let's move to Kratika. Will you go first? How do you decide what books to read?
I decide to read the books by counting the pages of the book, like the length of the book. But firstly, because I'm not a very good reader, though the reading bores me very often, so I look for the pages of the book firstly. Then I see is the book is of my interest or not. Is the topic is of my interest or not? So if I find that the topic is of my interest, then I pick the book and read it.
Nice. Nice. That makes sense. Yeah. So good. You pick one that looks about the right length, and then see if you're interested in the topic. Great. Awesome. All right. How about Ksenia? How do you decide what to read?
Usually I go to the store and choose book from their bestsellers. So it's very easy because it's the favorite books of for people right now. I think it's good to read it, but I prefer to read classics books. It's I don't know. I think it's history, and it's very interesting to read about history and how do people live in in this in that ages. So I like classics best of all.
Good. Yeah, that's a good reason to choose a book if you're gonna learn something historical, maybe on top of the interesting story. Good. Great. Great answer. How about you, Ken? How do you decide what to read?
Yes, the library close to my home has a section of newly published book. So I choose my favorite route at randomly because in the past I went to some specific section, but now I just browse the newly published section to choose my favorite book at randomly. In such way, maybe I can cover variety of field, not only my interest in field, but also other fields too.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good method. Good way to choose. And nice to have a library close by.
Mhm.
Cool. Great. Thanks for sharing. All right, Carolina, how about you? How do you decide what books to read?
My favorite books are about historical novels and about crime. So I go to the library or to the bookshop and I look for them. And also I usually listen to the radio some programs about cultural programs or about literature or something like that, and I try to and I try to yes to look for that the books they have talk about.
Nice, cool. That's another good method. Good ideas. Great. How about you, David? When you read, how do you decide what to read?
Well, Stephanie, I don't have too much time to read because, like in college, the teacher assigned me a lot of different kind of readings of many different topics. I think that I get accustomed to read almost anything, but for me, it's very boring when they assign me things that are very deeply, like very difficult to understand, like philosophical things. So I don't. I think that I can read almost anything, but that no. I think that I fall asleep maybe in the second page. So no. I would like to maybe prefer to read comics or magazines. It's more interesting for me. Even the newspaper. I like to read the newspaper. I like to read about news. I'll be very informed about the world.
Yeah. Sounds like you choose what to read based on how interesting it is. Good. That's a good method. Great. How about, let's see, last but not least, Jorgen. How do you decide what to read?
Well, I buy my books mostly exclusive on Amazon, and when you buy a book on Amazon, you have different options to be inspired to buy other books. They have down in the bottom of the page where you have your book. Then they have a section called customers who bought this item also bought. And then there's a whole selection of books and some arrows that you can click on. Then you can see the books that others have bought. Then there are 5 stars, and you can see how many stars that book has received from the other that has bought it. So that's a rating, and sometimes the book has a #1 bestseller sign. Another nice feature with Amazon is that you can click and look inside the book, and then you can see a sample and reading a sample. You can even try a sample, downloading it to your Kindle, so you can read it offline. There is also a nice feature on Amazon that you can make a wish list. That means that if you see a book, you say, I can't afford it this month, but I really would like it, then you just add it to a wish list. And I have 34 books on my wish list, books from Amazon that I think is interesting. And as I said, there's these stars, so you can see if it has gotten many reviews of a few, and you can also read how many have voted on the book, because some might have 5 stars, but only 5 people have given their consent, and some books have like 22,000 reviews, like a book, for example, a book called The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. It has received an average of 4 stars. 22,664 people have voted on it.
Wow.
It's on Amazon, and you can buy it on, and you can see on the Amazon page on the book there you can see the version, the different versions. There's a Kindle version, then you can buy the hardcover version. That comes obviously in the mail, and you can buy the paperback version. That is also, of course, in the mail, so you have to wait for it. And then you can even buy an audio version. Often the audio version comes as a supplement to the Kindle version, so you can read on your tablet and listen to the story at the same time, and that is very convenient when you are like me, an English student or ESL student.
Yeah, wow, that's a
But
great
they
feature.
have so many books on Amazon, and as I said, mostly or almost all the time I just buy there. A few occasional times I have visited a site called Goodreads, and I believe it's the largest book site on the internet actually. There are also reviews, but it is not bound to a certain shop. But there you can read a lot of reviews, and so and on Amazon you can also read a lot of reviews. Some have more than 1,000 comments, so you can really be, know a whole lot about the book before you buy it. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, that's a nice feature. And
Book The Girl on the Train, it has gotten over 22,000 customer reviews on Amazon. I don't know how long it would take to read all those, but it's certainly quite impressive the way that Amazon handles books, all that reading and all these features. I can just say, if you don't mind reading on Kindle, or you can try Amazon, and also you can buy, of course, the hardcover and paperback versions, and that comes in the mail. And there are different shipping time, of course.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
Amazon, I think, has it all. There's also different versions of Amazon. I mostly use the US version, but there's also the UK version, which is good for me when I have to
that's a
have a book shipped, because the shipping cost is not that expensive, being part of the European Union. If it comes from the United States, I have to pay a fee to the Danish post office. But all in all, I mostly use the US version. So
it sounds really useful for deciding what to read next. Like a lot of features, so you always
yes,
have something to read.
and
I like
you
that.
can also click on the
Yeah, and I like
author of the book,
Goodreads
and then
too.
you
I've
get
I've used
and
Goodreads.
the author
I need
has
to
his
use it
own
more.
site on the Amazon, where you can see other works that the author has made. So you might fall in love
So
with
I'll
an
have to
author
look at that. Great,
on the
great.
Amazon.
Thanks. Good answer. And let's see, Natasha has joined us. Hello.
Hello, hello. It's good to see
How
you, everybody.
how are you today?
I'm fine. I have had a nice day today. What about you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. It's been a good day so far.
uh,
All right, so our topic today is books, and we are on the question you're last to answer. But Natasha, how do you decide what books to read?
I'm sorry.
So it's your turn. I know you've just joined
Uh,
us, but how do you decide what to read?
Oh, okay. Yes, I hear you. Okay, as a rule, it depends on situation, but I prefer to read the summarize about this book, and if I think that it will be interesting for me or useful for me, for example, I mean the field of my knowledge. I will read this book. Sometimes somebody said me that this book very interesting, and this person can said me about this book, about plot of this book, and yes, in this case, I will be interested in. I can read this book as well. Maybe is my most way for changing what book I prefer to read.
Good answer. Good. Yes. So sometimes taking some recommendations and things like that. Good. Great. All right, everyone. Very nice job with that question. So let's go on. Same topic. Our next question. Do you sometimes reread your favorite books? So this is a good one for those frequency adverbs. Sometimes, never, often. Do you sometimes reread your favorite books? Why or why not? And let's see. This time, let's see. Ksenia, are you there? She wrote BRB, so she might not be there. Be right back. Let's just mix it up. Let's go all the way to the left and start with Ken. How about that? Ken, do you sometimes reread your favorite books?
Nowadays it's very rare. In the past, yeah, I was reading my favorite books again and again.
Uh-oh.
But
Ken, are you there?
yes, hello, can you hear me? No? Oh my God. Hello.
Yes, yes, I can hear you very well.
Yes,
Oh boy.
we can hear you, but not Stephanie, maybe.
I see.
Okay, I can hear now. Maybe I
Okay.
wasn't hearing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I used to read the book, but now it's very rare because, nowadays a lot of information available on the internet, so I don't have a time to read my favorite book again. Maybe in order to get something, we might lose something actually.
Good, good. Yeah, I am having some sound problems. It cut out a couple times while you
Okay.
said that, but it sounds like it's working for everyone but me. Okay, good. So it sounds like you used to, but not so much anymore.
Right.
Too much new stuff to read, maybe?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Great. Thank you. Carolina, how about you? Do you ever reread your favorite books?
Actually, no. This is not something that I do. But yes, sometimes if I like very, very much a book, so I do. But to be honest, it's not no, it is not something that I do often. No.
Good. So maybe if it's a very, very special book, but not typically.
Yes. Is that yes?
Great. Excellent. Well said. David, how about you? Do you ever reread your favorite books?
No, Stephanie. To be honest, actually, I don't know, but I get boring very easily. So I think that I lost the interest, like the motivation, because I know what is going to happen. So even I didn't rewatch the movies that I like it because no, I prefer to read a new material, a new stuff, and learn new things.
Good. So yeah, so you must
something
You
yes
like the
spicy,
surprise. You like the
like the
surprise
spicy.
of new things.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yes.
I can definitely understand that. Good. Great. Nice. Good answer. How about you, Jorgen? Do you ever reread any of your favorite books?
No, not the whole story, but I like to go back to look at special passages and sentences because I like to write myself. So I have to collect and save whatever the writer has written that I find interesting because I learn by watching how they use sentences and grammar and there can be special. Well, there are a lot of interesting things in the book, how they describe things. And I like to retain the best, like the best sentences or paragraphs. But I do not read the whole book and the whole story. I just try to collect the golden nuggets so I can learn to write better myself.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. Yes. So only the bits and pieces with a purpose of improving your own writing practice. Great. Great. Good answer. Thank you. How about you, Katika? Do you ever reread your favorite books?
Yeah, I do prefer to read my favorite books, and it is because firstly, the book is of my interest. I can read it, and it sometimes motivates me. Like for example, last year I was reading a bibliography of an Indian IPS officer, Kiran Bedi, and she was the first Indian officer, and she did so many good things, and she's also running some social organizations. So when I read her book again and again, it makes me feel really motivated. And secondly, I read it again and again for fun. So I feel fun when I read my favorite books again and again. Like I was reading a book last week of one author, Indian author Chetan Bhagat, and in his book he has written a story of three friends where how they do their professional life, how they pursue their education, and how they manage to balance between their professional and personal life. So it was fun reading that book. So that is why I would prefer to read.
Cool. Yeah. So it's like a fun thing to go back to. Your favorites. Kind of fun to go back to familiar stories, familiar characters. Nice. Great. Good answer.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. Ksenia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Not sure. I'm having problems with my sound. All kinds of problems today. But do you sometimes reread your favorite books?
No, never. Because I don't feel the same emotions when I read the book. It's boring for me because I have a good memory for films, for books. So I know, I think, every word in every page. So it's not for me to reread the books.
Good. Okay. Yeah. So you you prefer that a surprise of something new.
Yes.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I understand that. Great, excellent. And Natasha, how about you? Do you sometimes reread books or no?
Yes, to be honest, I really like read my favorite books, and I have had some this since my childhood. I remember always. I remember my feelings and good time which I spent by reading these books. And sometimes I want to remember it again, and I can reread all book or some the most beloved parts of this from these books, and I can't say that I do it very often, but sometimes I really like do it.
Cool. Yeah, so sometimes there's that kind of fun of going back to a familiar story,
Yes, yes,
even
yes.
though you
It's
know what's
like
going to happen.
yes. For me, for example, it's like meet with to have meeting with old friend. I know what will be in this plot, what will be in this book, but I have a lot fun by reading this book again.
Of what you said there. Don't know why that keeps happening. I'm sorry. Um, okay. Well, but thank you, Natasha. Well said. And let's see, one more. Saiban, hello, welcome.
Oh, hello, teacher. Sorry, I'm super late.
No problem, no problem. This is a good class to kind of join. You can kind of come and go as you need to with this class.
Yeah.
But it is your turn, so here's your question. Do you sometimes reread your favorite books?
Yeah, one of my favorite book is Tuesday with Maury. It's very famous. It's by Mitch Albom.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very famous book, and every time I read, I wanted to read more, and because of the experience that the professor that this book actually it's about the professor. It's had a disease, ALS disease. It's very fatal disease,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and one of the famous victim of this disease is Stephen Hawking, the physician. How can I say he's a physics scientist,
Yeah.
physics scientist. Yeah, and so Maury got this disease like this person, and his physician told him that he's gonna be die after like 2 years. So Mitch Albom, he's very famous. He's a very famous journalist, and he met with his professor every Tuesday. So he wrote this book, published it, and it's very popular here in United States.
Mm-hmm.
Many of people like this book, and I will try to. I finish it. I'm gonna finish almost. I'm gonna finish the book, but I wanna reread it actually.
Yeah. So it sounds, yeah, that sounds like a good book to reread.
Yeah. Yes, teacher.
Good. Yeah, I definitely reread when there's something really important or something I maybe want to understand better. Definitely.
Yes.
All right. Nice work, everyone. I believe that was everyone for this question. So let's go on and we can get a few more questions in. All right, so your general interests here. What kind of books do you like to read? And if you don't like reading, tell us what you do like to do instead. So what kind of books do you like to read? Let's start with Carolina this time. Carolina, how about you?
So, as I told before, I like historical novels and books about crime, about police and detectives and something like that. But I really like to read, and so I can read anything, anything. Yes, about whatever, about languages, about travel, about I don't know, politics, whatever. Yes, it's a hobby for me. Yes.
Nice, nice. So really anything that you can get your hands on, you just love to read.
Yes. Yes. Can you repeat anything that on my hands?
Anything that you can get your hands on.
Can you type it, please?
Yes, of course.
Mhm.
That's a good idiom.
Mhm.
Um, and that just basically means anything that you see,
Mhm.
get your hands on. There, it's in the Verbling chat.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't see it there, but I'll do it in the Google chat
Yes,
too.
better, yes.
Hands on. There it is. Maybe you can get your hands on.
Okay, yes. Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Good. A good way to say you're an avid reader. Very nice. How about, let's see, how about you, David? What kind of books do you like to read?
Yes, when I used to be younger, like a teenager, I used to read comics. It was my favorite book to read. I didn't like to read hard things like that kind of things that assign you in high school. And I think that nowadays I enjoy to read news that you can find on internet. What else? I enjoy to read things about the thing that I am studying, about finance, numbers, about commerce. And I enjoy to read like a hobby, things like horror stories or fictional stories because I find them very interesting.
Good, nice. Yeah, so not anything not too boring or difficult, more excitement, adventure type stories. Great.
Uh-huh.
Good, good. Great answer. Thank you. Let's see. Dom, hello.
So, hi, Stephanie.
How are you today?
I'm fine, not bad. I'm come almost on the end of the lesson.
That's okay. This is really just a speaking class, so it's a good one to come into and out of if you have to. So no problem. It is your turn though, so you need to tell us all what kind of books you like to read.
I think I don't have a specific book, but when I was young, I read novels, but classic, like I don't know, the old on this of the old and the sea, the old man and the sea of Hemingway, or something like that, maybe. Actually, no. At the moment, I'm reading most. Mm, not interesting when it's like challenge. You have to pay attention about that. Macroeconomics books. It's almost like more about study than free time, something like that. So, in general, I don't have a specific book which likes me in particular. Mm, I read some books about art and architecture because it's related about my profession. And that's happened almost frequently, I think. So I think it's I don't know what other things I would say. There is anybody? I don't know.
Yes, Stephanie is having problems with her.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, this has been a bad day for technology for me. I also This is my first day. I've recently moved, so I'm in kind of a new area trying to work it out. Sorry. A good answer. And good point. We often read a lot, like what we're required to read for our work. All right, good. Thank you, and I'm sorry about that. Let's
no problem.
see. Jürgen, how about you? What kind of books do you like to read?
I like to read autobiographies and biographies. I have a book about Al Capone waiting, which I look forward to reading. And I also like to read historical books about the immigration to United States in the around the 1900. I like to read children's books like The Secret Garden, and also like to read, and I also look forward to reading the book called Little Women, which I believe is a classic. It's also a children's youth book. I like to read books that are not too complicated, and I don't think I will ever read Shakespeare or that kind. I like books that has personal content that speaks to my heart and which I can relate to, and describe people and what lives people, what life people have, what they have been through, good or bad things. I like books that describe things and paints a vivid image for me that engage me, and also like to read books that are funny. Some authors are very funny, and I think that is a nice feature with books. Also, you can laugh and see, just laugh, and be entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, books for a different variety of entertainment values. Yeah, I also enjoy funny books. Great, good. So a lot of variety in our answers here. That's great. Kratika, how about you? What kinds of books do you read?
Yeah, though I do not like to read books very much, but in case if I have to read, I would like to read books related to my profession so that I can learn more and more. Like for example, I'm a physical therapist in India, so whenever I get chance, I try to read more and more about the treatments which we can give to the patients. And secondly, I like to read books more about based on the real life stories so that I can learn something out of them, and also they motivate me. For example, recently I'm reading books on the Native Americans, and this is a really good topic to pick up, and it is making me learn new things, and old things happen in the history, and I'm learning and gaining lots of information out of it. So that is why I would prefer reading these two kinds of books.
Good. Yeah, so reading not just as entertainment, but to kind of enrich our lives and teach us things. Great. Sounds like some good books. I'd be interested in those.
Okay.
Great, thank you. Good answer. How about you, Ksenia? What kinds of books do you like to read?
I like novels. I like read about people's life, about their maybe experience some difficult situation in their life, so their lives. I think it's some, I don't know, lesson for me, a virtual lesson, not in real life. And maybe when I read, I start to avoid their mistakes, and it's very helpful for me.
Good. Yeah, reading is a great way to improve our language and learn. Great. Good, good. All right, Natasha, how about you? What kinds of books do you like to read?
Well, I can't say that I like something one or some types of books. I like adventurous books. I like historic books. I like maybe mystery books or books about crime or real life situation. Well, but I really don't like read about biography. I don't know. For me, it's bored for me. I read sad books only when I studied in my university or in the school because I had to read it. But nowadays I avoid these books.
Yeah, now that you get to choose what to read, you don't ever choose biographies.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's funny. It's interesting how different our tastes can be in just one small class. Great, good answer. All right. How about you, Saiban? What kinds of books do you like to read?
Actually, I like novel. um, and one of my favorite novel that it's been actually they created a movie. It's Harry Potter, as you know. It's very famous book, and not just novel. Actually, I like historical books also as well, um, and especially the this kind of history that related to the Middle East and what and Islamic history. I really like them. And beside this book, there's the other kind of book. It's about the war, World War One and World War Two. I don't know. I mean, it's. I think it goes under historic uh, group. I mean, or collocation. So, or let's say classificate as a historic book. And actually, beside this book, I really like technologies book, like the recent technology information, and I think that's it.
Oh, good. So kind of a lot of variety there. That's good.
Yes, yes.
Good. Yeah, technology books. That's one I don't think I could read myself. Would fall asleep. Great. Nice.
Yeah, actually, especially programming.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's my field actually. Programming is my field. I'm studying programming here right now. It's very complicated. I really don't recommend it you to read. Yeah, you're right. You're falling asleep.
Well, good. I'm glad it makes sense to you and is interesting for you. Sounds like you picked the right field.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, great. Good answer. All right, one more. Ken, how about you? How do you, or what kinds of books do you like to read?
Yeah, I like psychological book and sociological book, and some no. I don't read novels so much, but some novels are pretty interesting. And I regularly read magazines, Newsweek magazine, Japanese version of Newsweek magazine, and Time magazine, and some scientific magazine too.
Wow.
Yeah, these are my favorites.
Nice, good. So again, a broad range from nonfiction to fiction, science. Nice.
I also
Good,
like
good.
biography too.
All right. I think, let's see, that was everyone for that question, right? Let's see. I think we don't really have enough time to go through a next question, but does anyone else have anything to say about books? Or can anyone recommend me a really good book to read? Okay, stop. I love
But there's a
reading.
book.
Reading
There's a
is my
book that is
favorite
called How to
pastime,
Read a Book.
probably. So if you have any book recommendations, please tell me.
There's a book that's called How to Read a Book. You know that?
Otherwise, that's all I have for you today. Nice work, everyone. Was easy to understand. I think you made your points clearly. What's that, Jorgen?
So there's a book that is called How to Read a Book, but I guess it's more for academics. How to read a book, reading the different levels of reading: elementary, inspection, and analytical, and synoptical. But I think that is not for the general reader.
Yeah, that sounds interesting to me as a teacher of reading. That sounds like a good book. What was it called?
How to Read a Book.
How to Read a Book. Interesting. I'm going to make a note of that. Good. It is fascinating. The process of reading is fascinating to me, so that might be good. All right. Well, good. Nice work, everyone. You were very clear, easy to understand. So thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you all very soon.
Yes,
Thank
likewise.
you.
Have a nice day.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
very
Stephanie.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Bye. See
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.